Hey guys! In this video, I will be going over my plans for The War Within. As you guys may have seen from my previous videos, I started playing retail in Dragonflight Season 3, and I have earned the Mythic Plus title for 2 seasons so far as a healer. Since I've only been playing retail for a few months, I don't really have a main character that I'm attached to anyway, so I'm more open to playing the meta and trying new specs every season. My main goal is to go for the M+ title, so my plans will be based around that. The War Within will be a different situation from what I've previously experienced. First of all, I've never played a non-fated or awakened season from the beginning, so I have not experienced what it's like to not have a Mythic Plus meta at the start of season. Looking at the stats from previous seasons, it seems like the meta can shift as Blizzard balances different specs throughout the season. For example, at the start of Season 3, the meta comp consisted of Prop Paladin, Havoc Demon Hunter, and Disc Priest. However, towards the end, Vengeance Demon Hunter became the dominant tank, which pushed Havoc out, and Shadow Priest also became so strong that Disc Priest got shifted out for Resto Druid. By the time I started playing in Season 3, Disc Priest was already in the process of moving out of the spotlight, which is unfortunate because I picked my main based off the tier list at the time, which wasn't updated yet, and ended up having to main swap with 1 month left in the season to get title. I won't go into too much detail with that because I have already made a video on it, so feel free to go watch if you're curious. Anyway, people are suspecting that the meta won't be set for at least a few months in Season 1 of The War Within. So my current plan is to not have a set in stone main character until that happens. This means that I will be gearing up and maintaining multiple ults at the start of season, which is no different from what I did at the start of Season 4. I actually did vault keys on about 10 characters a week in Season 4 just to try them out, but because it was an awakened season where not many changes happened, the meta comp stayed the same the entire season, and I never ended up swapping off a Resto Druid. However, knowing that I am capable of maintaining this many ults is a good sign that I'll be able to do the same going into the War Within. To be more specific, I will focus on 2 to 3 characters, which is looking like Holy Paladin, Resto Shaman, and maybe Resto Druid right now. Meaning, I will gear those characters up fairly quickly and only do bare minimum vault keys on my other characters just to maintain them. The reason I am choosing these 3 specs is because so far from beta testing, it seems like Holy Paladin and Resto Shaman are performing the best, and Resto Druid is a close second in terms of healing throughput. Initially, I was just looking at playing Holy Paladin, but when it comes to comps, healing throughput isn't the only thing we need to consider. Resto Shaman and Resto Druid are both very strong, and both bring an insane raid buff, which may put them over the edge above Holy Paladin. It will also depend on what the DPS and tank picks are going to be. If a Shaman or Druid DPS or tank becomes meta, the raid buff coming from the healer won't be needed. The point is that there are so many variables to consider that there isn't a clear enough answer on what the best healer is going to be for the season. So I will keep my options open not only with the top 3 picks, but also gradually gear up all the other healer specs and practice playing them while I'm at it. I haven't played the beta that much yet, but I've done a few keys on Holy Paladin and Resto Shaman, and I even did some on Og. All of them feel very good so far, even after the nerf. So I'm feeling very good about these specs for at least the start of season. In terms of pushing, there isn't really a point in seriously pushing keys until either the meta comp is set or we're fully geared. So I'm not too worried on choosing a main that early in the season regardless. If you are someone who doesn't have the time to gear up this many alts at the same time, don't sweat it. Even if you have to reroll mid-season because your spec fell off, you will still have time to catch back up. In fact, during Season 3, I got title after rerolling to Mistweaver Monk only a month before season ended, so this just goes to show how unimportant pushing early on is. Another thing to consider that I have not had to deal with yet in Dragonflight is gear progression. When I started playing in Season 3, there was no crest cap anymore, and most pugs were at least AOTC, so getting caught up on gear was pretty easy for me. I could just spam keys and do my weekly heroic raids and be fully geared in less than 2 weeks. In Season 4, gearing was also very easy because of the Boolean system and other weekly quests that existed because it was an awakened season. However, the War Within will be the first season for me where getting geared at the start of season will be more difficult because of lockouts, crest caps, and not many alternatives outside of raiding to get gear. Therefore, I will finally start my journey of Mythic Raiding. Yep. Stay tuned for future Mythic Raiding videos because they will be coming. But anyway, there is going to be a huge difference between Mythic Raiders and non-Raiders at the start of season because there really aren't any alternatives to getting myth gear outside of the weekly vault, which is unfortunate. I understand that Blizzard is trying to keep Mythic Raiding relevant by keeping myth gear exclusive to Mythic Raids. But I think they should consider allowing key pushers to get gear from pushing keys. Because apparently, there's a large portion of the population that pretty much only plays the game for Mythic Plus and don't want to raid. And I believe both game modes should be just as equal. However, that's not for me to decide, and in the meantime, I don't really mind trying out Mythic Raiding because it's new to me. I'm fortunate that the team I met in Season 3 and still currently play with raids in a CE guild who's recruiting a healer for the War Within. I've also filled for a few of their alt raids in the past, and they know I'm a title healer in Mythic Plus. So luckily, I won't have to go through an extremely annoying process of applying to a guild just to get rejected because I have very little previous Mythic Raiding experience. This is honestly a pretty good strat for getting into your first CE guild that I unintentionally used because I was so interested in pushing keys ever since I started playing this game. So now that I have a plan for when the season starts, let's talk about what to do before then. So this is the timeline for launch, and it's looking pretty uneventful for the first few weeks. Only heroics are open until September 10th, and Mythic Plus doesn't even open until the week after. So all I'm really going to do is level all the characters I plan on playing and simply just take a break until the grind really starts. The gear you get from heroics isn't really going to matter when Mythic 0 and Mythic Plus gear replaces it. So there isn't really a point in trying to burn yourself out unless you find it fun. But anyway, that's my plan going into the War Within as a healer main who has gotten title my first 2 seasons playing. Hopefully we'll keep the streak up and this time add CE into the mix. I hope this helped anyone who wants to push keys and is unsure of what they want to do for the first few weeks of launch. Just a note, I've also watched other people's videos about their plans, and some of them are very different. So don't feel pressured to follow exactly what others are doing. Everyone's situation is different. If you're also playing the War Within, let me know what your plans are in the comments down below. So far, I have really enjoyed reading all your personal experiences and opinions, so thank you for commenting on my videos. It's always nice hearing from other people in the community who play the same game as I do. If you haven't yet, check out the other videos I've posted on my channel, And my Classic Journey series will be coming out very soon as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.